Dear students, I welcome you to this on collocation. The primary focus of this video would be to make the viewers of this video aware about the importance of collocation language. The importance and the most difficult part of collocation is it putting it to use and staying up to date with the collocation is yet another part of collocation. Now, collocation should not be misunderstood. Idiomatic expressions are not to be taken literally, whereas collocation cannot be just with the feature of being literal alone. Oxford Collocation Dictionary for students of English finds that collocation, the way words combine in a language, produce natural sounding speech and writing. English collocations advanced, which is again a dictionary, defines that collocations means a natural combination of words. It refers to the way English words are closely associated with. In both these definitions, we see that the word combine had been used. Hence, we can infer obviously that a word cannot qualify itself a collocation, but only combination of words become collocation. But the central point of a collocation is referred to in the second definition. Collocations are combination of English words that are closely associated with each. In other words, think about a verb or an adjective or a noun which are very often seen with another English word. Very often. When an English word more often appears with another word, then we can call them as a collocation. If you can get the definition of collocation from these definitions here, then we are halfway there towards understanding collocation. Let me tell you, knowing more collocation in English language enable you to speak and write English in a more natural and accurate manner. To begin with, let us look at some examples of collocation. Remember, collocation is a combination of words. Pay attention, burning ambition, highly intelligent, direct equivalent, blindingly obvious, extremely complicated, exceptional ability, prolonged absence, physical abuse, willingly accept. Looking at these examples, you may not see the difference of English language loosely or powerfully because it matters. We need to use language powerfully, not. So, I'm going to show you the difference. It would sound unnatural if you use the phrase in the right column instead of the phrase that is in the left column. Please go through it. Do you think which is the probability of you using the word in the first example? Would you say fast food or would you say quick? Even you could see it in the example that the word fast food is the most popular manner in which you would hear the phrase, but not the phrase quick food. How many times have you heard somebody saying quick food or fast food? So now you know that using the word fast food is the right manner, which is the correct collocation, and which sounds unnatural. Quick food sounds very unnatural. Look at the second example, tall tree. And what sounds unnatural there? If you say high tree, nobody says high tree. We only say tall tree. Look at the third example, big mistake. Nobody says large mistake. right? People would say large building, but not, yes, big building sometimes. But then in the case of mistake, you say big mistake, which is the correct collocation, but not large mistake, which would sound unnatural. You would say you had great fun, not big fun. If you say big fun, it sounds unnatural. Now look at more examples. You would say strong tea, but not powerful tea. Strong and powerful both mean the same in a dictionary. But then use it with the noun tea, you have the probability of choosing the word strong rather than saying powerful. You say heavy rain, but then you say hard rain. We say flatly contradict, not strongly contradict. We always say bitter enemy, not serious enemy. Look at a few more examples. When somebody has yellow hair, you never say they have yellow hair. You always say blonde hair. Because when it comes to the attribute of your hair color, we always use terms like blonde, burgundy, so on and so forth. And then even you should know there are at least 40 different shades the color blonde. So when it comes to hair, you always say blonde hair. Even though the color is yellow, you don't say yellow hair. Yellow hair sounds unnatural, say, in English language. The final example is widespread belief. You don't say well-known belief. When you say widespread belief, it is the correct format of using collocation. But when you say well-known belief, it sounds unnatural. Do you see it? When you see the phrase on the left side, you will sound refined. When you say fast food, a tall tree, big mistake, great fun, strong tea, heavy rain, flatly contradict, bitter enemies, blonde hair, widespread belief. At least you felt that in the first four examples. That is because you have used these collocations in your speech or writing. So you know for sure one is right and the other one does not fit. The phrases in the right column do not fit. The same is for the other examples. So this is how you will sound when you speak or write the wrong collocation. Like it has been mentioned previously, collocations come in combinations of different parts of speech. For example, verb plus noun. Example, arouse someone's interest. Adverb plus adjective. Example, fundamentally different. Adverb plus verb. Example, flatly contradict. Noun plus noun. Example, a team of experts. Phrasal verbs. Example, come up with. And finally, compound nouns. Example, stock market. Unlike other grammar lessons, collocation does not have rules, but they are based on the association that a native speaker makes between words. Because of the probability of the association between the combined words used by the native speaker, a collocation becomes permanent in hence. It is never possible for a non-native speaker of English language like us, like you and me, to use collocations appropriately. It can only be made better by being up to date. Remember, I told you why collocations are important in the beginning. It is only your effort away. Thanks for watching the video. Good day to you.